Greetings, salutations. Oh my god, my audio's so low, but we're, oh no. Holy mother forking shirtballs, my audio is being broken. That's okay. We'll just, it's me. That's what y'all were talking about earlier. That's okay. What we'll do is we just won't use this audio. That's okay. I'm DC and we're having technical difficulties, but that's okay because we've already listened to this. We are listening to a mother today. A mother trucker, if you will. Just kidding, just a mom. Just a mom calling her kid fat. But we've redacted the adorable, beautiful, wonderful child. And she's also in Make Wellness. Not the child, but the mom. And the mom is using her child and her other child to lure people in to Make Wellness. And don't worry, we'll regulate ourselves before we get into this fluffery. And I'm just going to double check that we get our audio adjusted before we get into this. Okay? Hello? 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 Oh my god. I'm so happy to see everyone. We're taking a vote. Number 1, like the stream. Number 2, support keeping the twinkle lights on by subscribing and join membership if you want to. I don't know. That's it. Subscribing helps. Hyping the stream after the video ends also helps. You can't hype during the stream. You can hype afterwards. So, yeah. We discovered this lady this morning when we were on Instagram and we were testing new tech. And then, when I got ragey, we moved it over to members only. And we were listening, and we got even more ragey. So what happened was, we took notes, thanks to Perplexity helping us with referencing PubMed articles and National Institute of Health articles and, primary sources and psychology studies and things like that. And here we are with commentary. Now, before we get to just regulating ourselves, this wonderful, delightful, beautiful human being, her child, we need to be very careful with the commentary because us raging against the mom may easily have the kid picking up our rage against the mom as critique against the kid, if that makes sense. So walk this fine line with me very carefully. Although the mom is getting, we are taking a vote to the FU list right at the beginning of the stream, right after we do our high-lows. Okay? Okay. Okay? Alright. Good to see you. Hello. If you want to be reminded with a little text message, because YouTube, I don't know, notifications are wild, you can be reminded for free via the Remind app. I don't spam you, and sometimes I do forget to text you, but you can text that little number in the chat, and I will text you a direct link to the live stream. Mostly. So, if that floats your boat, be floated. Here's my high. It's raining outside, or it was. My low is the mother that we are going to be live streaming to. My other high, my twinkle lights. And I got coffee. Yeah. Regulate yourself, bring a craft, game, lurk, or also, you don't have to watch the stream. Tomorrow, we're doing a Happy Cult stream, and Friday, Sunny lied to us since the beginning of time, and we are watching her accept awards that prove that she was lying to us since the beginning of her time at Rise. So, 2 happy streams, Thursday and Friday, so if you can't handle this stream, you know, don't worry about this one. Also, the reason we're doing this early on in the day for me and for you, if this is early for you, is because I get the sads, meaning I get sad in the evening time. That's why we're doing this as early as possible. So, yes, everything in this stream. Oh no, we don't have the chat. Mother trucker. My eye is dry. Widget. Wherefore art thou? Chat? Hello? Chat, where are ya? Where's the chat? I done see ya. Refresh. Unlock. I don't see the chat. Let me just grab it from over here. Oh, there it is. Got him. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Hi, I'm watching this stream with you guys. Lo, I've been kind of down the past days. Not quite depressed, but worse than just a little sad. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here. Get it comfy if you can. Hubby brought me a brand new gardening tool for our anniversary. Lo, I'm sick from all the butter we ate at our anniversary dinner. Happy anniversary! Wait. Apologies for the IBS, but to start the stream off with something delightful, I'm gonna have to try my headphones. For the love of God, I hope this works. Nobody move a muscle. I just want to hear the wedding kazoos. Oh my God. I'm sorry, and I'm happy. Happy anniversary. Happy, unhappy IBS. Congratulations and happy, and unhappy, unhappy. I remember my mom going through all the feels for all 5 of us. Oh, I'm still flashing back here. Ooh, the light blue is a vibe. Hello, hello, hello. Cackling over here. Wedding kazoos. Yeah. There's a, unfortunately, YouTube changed things and we freaking hate it because we hate change, but pinned comments are at the bottom now. So there's a trigger warning at the bottom. We have some feedback because I have a fan on. I'm also not going to move a muscle because... Is it still charging? My cord. Yes. I got to fully rest yesterday. Your dad's in the hospital? Oh no. I'm sorry. You're probably gonna have to turn me up because my voice is low. It is what it is. I'm sorry if you have ads. If you are on a budget and you need ad-free YouTube, this is not, what I'm about to say is not an ad and it's not a scam. If you have a VPN, cool. If you don't know how to do a VPN, download the Brave browser. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on the computer. You can't do it on a TV, so you're probably screwed. But you can go to brave.com, Brave browser, whatever, download it, and it's ad-free. If you do, like, crafting, if you go to, like, a website and you want the craft, like if you're doing, like, a crochet pattern and there's a million pop-ups and you just want to use if you just want the pattern for your crochet or whatever you're knitting, you just use like the Brave browser and you don't have any of the pop-ups or stuff like that. So you don't have any YouTube ads if you use that browser. So if you need not ads, feel free. Now, if we get to 100 likes during the stream, I will move the ads from 12 minutes that we have to 18 minutes. So be free with the likes if you want. All right, here we go. The pinned posts are at the top. Well, mine are at the bottom. I hate my life. I don't hate my life. Mine are at the bottom now. It's the worst. It's awful. Hey, Care Bear. All right. I have blurred the child. You'll have to take my word for it. She is an adorable human being. And unfortunately, you'll have to take my word for it. Every time, and I wish to not exploit her. I did blur her, but... And I know this is controversial. If you have kids... I don't know if you've experienced this, but she's 9 years old. When the mom's asking her questions, the girl is answering her mom, but looking for validation so much during the conversation that it doesn't feel like the girl is answering fully from her own independent, free answers. It feels like she's answering because of what she thinks her mom wants her to answer. And if you're a parent, let me know if you've ever seen your kid do that. I've seen kids do that as being around kids when I was teaching tennis for 15 years. babysitting, my siblings doing it. So not as a parent, but just observing. I've seen kids do that. I don't know if y'all have seen that as parents. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the live chat. Replay crew. Let me know. But it is very sad that I see the pressure that the mom seems to be putting on the daughter. It's not sad that the daughter feels the pressure from the mom. It's not. I don't think the daughter should feel guilty or bad that she wants to make her mom happy. I don't. Oh, good. You got a cervical neck ablation? That sounds pain. That does sound painful. I wish that YouTube would give us the option. I wish YouTube would give every user the option to put it where they want to, even though that would be very difficult. I can see how it'd be helpful either way. As someone who's used to something, it's hard to get used to the new thing. So. Making people happy to feel safe is something I do. I don't like that I do it. It is something I'm trying to unlearn, and I still feel unsafe when I want to give my true answer. So, anyways, here we go. Oh, there's another screen up. Other trucker. Oh, there we go. I was working on a video for Aaron earlier. There we go. My God. Okay. File, clear playlist. Please hold. I'm gonna lose it. Alright. El Media. Quit. And can we play it now?
Okay, we're ready. Hi.
That's gonna echo. And we're gonna go here. 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 Let's go.
Okay, we're ready. Hi, everybody. So my daughter, Adeline. Hey, Addie. Addie is a nearly 10-year-old young lady who also has dealt with some challenges when she's looking at herself in the mirror. And this has been a super topic in our house forever. When I was pregnant with Maverick, who's going to be 18 in October, I got pretty serious into living a healthy lifestyle. So we're eliminating a lot of toxins and whatever. I got a little OCD. Listen, I am OCD. I got a little crazy with it for a while. Then when I had Travin, it got a little extra. And then when, you know, I got it under control. Now we can live a happy, healthy life and not be all crazy about obsessive things with our health and with our children. But Addie deals with some...
I'm having issues with my pause, so please hold. Space. Space. Thank you for holding. Close. Close. What do we still have open? Okay. Okay. Can I press play now? Okay. Can I do this? No. All right, that's fine. That's okay.
Some challenges, and I know a lot of people right now also have children that deal with some challenges on how they look at themselves and how they talk to themselves and how they feel.
Okay.
And earlier this week, I had posted that Target mannequin, and I just said, curious on your thoughts on this. And truly, because this is what I do. I am a health coach. I help people feel their best. I'm interested in my audience and how they felt about it.
No. She had shown a mannequin that was not thin. And she's not a health coach, she's an independent contractor with Make Wellness, so take that with a grain of salt, in my opinion. Alright? If you don't know what multi-level marketing is, if you don't know what an independent contractor with multi-level marketing is, it means that they are part of a downline in a triangular shape so that they recruit people that they're building a relationship with so that when they potentially need to make or keep rank, they have a strong relationship and they can allegedly talk that person into inventory loading, in my opinion. And they get commission from the people underneath them. And they are the glorified customers, and they also have quote-unquote customers. And Make Wellness is a weight loss multi-level marketing company disguised as a supplement, health, and wellness company selling quote-unquote peptides, in my opinion. That's not how they describe themselves. That's my opinion on what I've seen from the Zoom calls we've snuck into and what I've seen on their website and what I've seen them talk about on the internet. Oh, yeah, the blurred figure next to her is her daughter, who's a beautiful human being. And if you're in the live chat, we are going to be very, very, very careful to separate the frustration with how the mom describes her daughter's body and bodies that her mom does not see as quote-unquote okay. Because as a kid, you can pick up certain things and you can take on certain things that you don't need to very easily. And I'm going to do my best that if she ever sees this, that my frustration is not with you, Adeline. It's with the perspective that there's something wrong with your body, and there's not anything wrong with your body. So, I think there's something twisty with this mom's parent-child weight talk and body image situation. And we'll talk. We'll just let her talk for a little bit because it's twisty as hell.
And there was a lot of, granted,
Sorry. This is gonna happen a lot. I will forget to switch over. Preserve and promote your emotional well-being. Hop out of the chat if you need to. Hop out of the chat if you need to. Well, we have a camera that we've tested out today, Instagram and YouTube. That works. We have a little baby mic that's wireless. That works. The camera we tested will plug into my laptop. That works great. And I don't have to like disconnect anything over here. I'm just working on my chair situation. I'm just researching and balancing out cost of chair. You know what I mean? So we're close. But if you see me fidgeting, it's my chronic dance I'm doing. So we're working on it. The mom has a bunch of pictures. This mom that we're looking at has a bunch of pictures on her Facebook page, before and afters, side pictures and mirrors, is very low body fat. Her son is also doing body competition stuff. Her daughter is enmeshed in weight loss culture in the house, in my opinion, from what I've seen on the mom's social media. Is it possible that what's represented on the mom's social media doesn't reflect what's going on inside the house accurately? Could be, but when we listen to what the mom's saying in this live stream, it seems that what's posted on the mom's social media is a more accurate reflection of what's actually going on in the house, and it's very toxic in my opinion. And I can see how if things don't change, the mental health conversation may need to be more prominent than is currently happening because of the impact that the mom has on the daughter. Not just because moms and dads and parents have a huge impact on their children, but because this parent is having a huge mental health and physical health and body dysmorphic-esque whatever on her kid. So, anyways. Thank you.
A lot. I'm a public profile, right? I'm a public profile. I get suggested to a lot of people, and there were a lot of ignorant people that were like, oh my God, you're fat shaming your daughter, which I was really pissed about. And I was like, people have opinions, Rachel. You post public, you're going to get these trolls. Well, then I wanted to share Maverick's story, which I have shared many, many times. So Maverick is, again, my almost 18-year-old. When he was 12, he was significantly obese. And I am not fat shaming my son. I am making a statement that his weight was out of control and it was unhealthy and it was...
The picture of her son at 12 was not significantly obese. Talk to your doctor. That's a conversation for a medical professional, and I will tell you in about 20 minutes, y'all are gonna lose. Y'all could be upset. And about what she's about to say about medical professionals. Only because parents, in my opinion, should protect and advocate for their children. So, I'll let her play for a little bit.
Worrisome. As a parent, when your child is unhealthily overweight, it is worrisome. She is not, but she sees herself in a certain way. And so I want her to kind of share. So I'm going to do a little bit of talking, a little bit for you parents, and then I want her to share her story. And I was thinking this would be really nice because I can share some education for you guys on how to speak to your children about being healthy. And then maybe you can show if you have a child who's dealing with some body image issues or some healthy issues, you know, they're trying and maybe they don't even acknowledge the fact that they could use a little bit of boost, but she's going to speak to your children for you. So that would be, look at Nikki's on. Nikki! She was asking when you're going to do a sleepover again, Nikki. Good morning. She is visiting Caleb right now, so that's exciting. Caleb is her son, and he is in the Air Force, and he lives in, I can't remember if it's Texas or Arizona, somewhere down there. Oh, Arizona. Addie wants to go to Arizona, Nick, by the way. So if he does live there, maybe we're going to be visiting Caleb. But anyway, so when we're parents and we see our children are dealing with not the typical body, right? Like you go and you see on social media, like we see on social media, these parents that have these very thin, I can think of so many friends of mine. I actually have to call her out, Elise Wright. Her daughter is incredibly athletic and she's a super cheerleader and she goes to all of these things and she has that body that a lot of young ladies look at and they're like, that's what I want. And we can't deny that this isn't a natural thing. How many times have we dealt with this? So I was a teen in the 90s. And so in the 90s, that's when Alloy and Dahlia's and Hot Topic and all of these very, very, very skinny models. And so when we were that age, I remember being like, I was actually heavy for my peer group. Which is crazy because I was not heavy, but I was about 125, 130, whereas my friends were like 115, 120. And I remember one friend in particular, she got up to like 126 in college and she was calling herself fat and labeling ourselves. So a lot of the times, even with you guys, so I work with women, I work with adults. When I have people that struggle with their children, I normally have my son Maverick reach out to them. Like he texts you.
Your son is a minor? BT dubs. Also, I don't exactly know what her qualifications are, but I am 12% sure that she's an independent, and if I'm wrong, I don't think I am, but an independent contractor with Make Wellness, a multi-level marketing company, and she's going after the niche of parents with alleged, quote-unquote, children that are, in their parents' eyes, bigger than their parents want them to be. She starts conversations with them and then plugs them into the multi-level marketing company called Make Wellness. I had to edit myself there for a second because in my head I said Make effing Wellness, but she's using her children in a very complex, twisty way. She's using her 9-year-old in her almost 18-year-old, and she's been using her older kid for a while. And really quick, let's just go back to her smiling and getting excited about this idea that she was one of her heavier friends in college at 125, and how one of her friends freaked out when she got up to 126. And her daughter's sitting there the whole time. And when I tell you, Members Only and I were watching this. It took us about an hour to blur out her daughter. So we were watching the facial expressions. It's one of the perks of being a member because, like, we're doing behind the scenes stuff. again, helping me keep the twinkle lights on, but the daughter's face in between, like, looking for affirmation from her mom, which is completely normal for a child to do. And this is absolutely no shade or shame or anything. I'm seeing a bunch of internal, like, somberness as she's listening to her mom talk about weight and seemingly morality of being lighter, whatever morality of being lighter or heavier is, really twisty ideas around bigger or smaller, and then how her mom says being bigger is bad, and by the way, an asterisk of, oh, by the way, daughter, you're not obese because being obese is bad. We're dipping our toes into really twisty water. And there are lots of, and we'll read through it because there are studies that show the conversation and how the mom is talking about this is super unhealthy. Super, super, super unhealthy. Hi, Ash. So we're gonna go, I mean, we're talking about a couple of these things, but like I listed the links that we referenced in the description with the primary sources, but we're gonna go through and read some of the twisty stuff. Hopefully it's not boring, but we're not gonna read it right now. It's just, I think kids deserve better than their parents doing what the mom is doing here, and I bet that the mom probably really loves her daughter and is doing the best she can, and is this talk, according to science, really harms kids psychologically. And it's twisty as hell, in my opinion.
He supports them. He shares with them food that he eats. He really likes it. And I get excited because I'm like, maybe he'll go into something like what I do. It is the most rewarding thing to work with you guys on your body image and helping you love your reflection. Because really, every body is built different, right? Yeah. Like every body. Some people are wider, some people are thicker. Like this girl is a beast. Like she is so strong. And she started playing catcher and softball the other day. Just a very thick and strong young lady, which is really awesome. Like the mountains she will move because of this strong body. And my sister is the same way. We used to, that saying, built like a brick shit house, for real, like big, strong, sturdy women. That's pretty cool. Tucson, Arizona, and he's now a police officer. Caleb is. Please tell me he has the mustache. That's all I need to know.
Mom, you're embarrassing me.
So anyway, when our children are here's some mistakes that I see happen. When our children are getting overweight to a point where their weight continues to climb.
Oh, Rachel.
And it becomes unhealthy. I mean, we cannot deny it becomes unhealthy. The leading cause of death in America is obesity-related disease.
Please hold. What is the leading cause of death in America? And please cite your sources. The current leading cause of death in America is heart disease. Multiple major health agencies and data sets agree that heart disease remains the top cause of death nationwide. Recent CDC's mortality tables list heart disease above cancer, accident, stroke, and chronic lung disease when ranking causes of death by number of deaths. The American Heart Association's 2025-2026 statistics update likewise reports that heart disease is still the #1 killer in the U.S. ahead of cancer and accidental injuries. Data summaries using CDC figures for 2022 and 2023 show heart disease and cancer as the top 2 causes, with heart disease clearly in first place. That is from the pmcncbi.nlm.nih. Cancer, about 620,000 deaths per year. Heart disease, about 680,000 deaths per year in the U.S. Sorry. This is U.S. numbers. My bad. And caused by obesity. And are these heart disease related deaths caused by obesity? Oops, undo. Not all heart disease deaths are caused by obesity, but obesity is a major growing driver of heart-related mortality in the U.S. Obesity is one of several. Along with high blood pressure, high LDL cholesterol, smoking, diabetes, and physical inactivity. Rachel? Only a fraction of total heart disease deaths are officially coded as obesity related, but that fraction isn't increasing quickly, right? Only a fraction. Rachel? Here's the thing, you lose credibility when you don't cite your sources, and then when we look up shit and we find out that you're lying to us, maybe you're not lying. Maybe you just didn't look stuff up, or you didn't look at enough sources, and you said, oh, liked that one. That sounds good to me. That fits what I want to use to recruit people. She is Make Wellness. And she's using her daughter to try to recruit people to Make Wellness. And she's also talking a lot about how there's better bodies than other bodies. And talking about how fat her son was and how much better her daughter is doing at cutting things out of her diet, how the cleanses they're on, how they don't go to traditional doctors, how there's a lot of different things. It gets twisty fast, so
Okay, we know this. We've got heart disease, we've got diabetes, we've got cancer. So many cancers are closely affiliated with excess body fat and how our hormones are stored in that body fat. Actually, those people, I work with a lot of people that are on like GLPs. If you're on a GLP and you're losing a ton of fat at one time, you might notice that you feel like you have the flu because so many toxins, even from walking around, touching things, breathing in the air, putting on certain products, eating certain foods, have toxins in them. And those toxins store in our fat cells. So when you're using energy from those fat cells at a very, very fast rate, like losing 5 to 10 pounds a week, and some people do on GLPs, it's not healthy. And it causes that detox, like you're like a super
Depending on how, and depending on your body mass, and depending on if you are doing it under the supervision of a medical doctor with a medical team, because we wouldn't be doing a GLP-1 assisted weight loss situation with a multi-level marketing company. Rach.
detox and you might feel flu. So when you have excess body fat stored on your body, you're holding all of those toxins in your body always. And so they are related to a lot of cancers.
Not always.
So when I look at it as parenting, there's a little fruit fly in my face. I look at it as parenting. It is my responsibility to help my children know how to be healthy. I don't care if they're skinny. I don't care. Like, who cares about that? My kids will be healthy. I will not have my child to go play and can't play. They can't play. They get breathless. They get tired. They get weak. Mommy, and then they start making excuses. I've lived this life with my almost 18-year-old. He was 12. So with Mavericks, what happened was he was actually like super muscular. I wish you could have, well, you've seen pictures of him. Maverick was very muscular. He had pecs. He had a six-pack when he was a little guy, all the way up. And I remember being like, man, he's like going to be a beast when he's bigger. And then he was homeschooled. And then he went to public school for 2 years. And at public school, I would pack his lunch and he would charge lunch. And I kept writing this school. I was like, please stop letting him get lunch there. I am packing his lunch. Communications get lost. It happens. He would get lunch.
You can't stop a kid from buying lunch. Okay.
I would get a bill every week. He's gotten lunch. I'm like, he's not supposed to be getting lunch. I'm packing him lunch. And he was eating his friends' snacks and their lunch. If they didn't eat something, he loved to eat. He loved food. And he gained weight so fast. It was scary. It was like over a year. He just put on so much weight. At 12 years old, he weighed 270 pounds. And I was like, this isn't okay. And I brought him to the doctor. And of course, you know how kids are. Mom, dad, they don't know anything. And we kept talking. And at this point, I had been a fitness instructor. I am a health coach. I was getting certified to be a nutritionist, actually, because he inspired me. I wanted to help him. And it still didn't matter. But then he got his blood work done, and his liver enzymes were significantly elevated. And his doctor was like, yeah, this is not, like, we got to do something. He needs to go to a junior weight management clinic. So we went to the junior, but this was during COVID. Okay, this was just coming into COVID. So he had his weight management clinic appointment was in March, and they couldn't get him in again until June. And he had to meet with a mental therapist, the director, a nutritionist, and like a physical trainer of sorts. Four different people, 4 different appointments, and he was going to have to do that every few weeks. And he was pissed. Man, he was not happy. And he said, if I can lose weight by myself before my June appointment, do I have to go to those appointments? And this was in March, so he had plenty of time. And I said, yeah, of course. Now, being the weight that he was, on the frame that he was, it was very hard for him to play. It was very hard for him to work out, to do anything like that. So what we started doing, we'd like play kickball in the backyard, or play catch, or play basketball as a family. Just let's go play basketball. And it wasn't like too vigorous. It was just getting out and moving our bodies together as a family. It made a huge difference. It wasn't like, hey, put on this workout video and do something. It was like, let's go play. And he was able to shed some excess weight, and movement got easier for him. And so my husband was overweight. I mean, technically he was overweight. He always looks good, but he was. And he's like, well, let's do the 21-day fix workouts. And if you guys remember Beachbody, Oh
my God. If you don't know, if you if you don't know the 21-day fix, please hold. It's not just the 21-day fix, Beachbody on Demand, interactive. Ugh. It's Autumn Calabrese. And if y'all like that, that's fine. There's a food plan that goes with it, and it is an eating disorder waiting to happen. Ask Jen Baruso. Ask any registered dietitian. Ask Kat. Ask, ask anyone. Anyone that's like a registered dietitian that is current on their like testing or it like is a certified personal trainer, like, and if y'all like it, that's fine. When I say that's fine, the containers don't give you enough food to eat. And if she put her kid on 21-day fix, maybe she didn't. I hope to God she didn't. Here's the thing. If the pediatrician put him in touch with all of these professionals to try to help create an infrastructure to help him with his mental health, his nutrition, his physical, his foundations of like physical wellness to, I don't know, learn proper form or all this stuff. And the mom, I'm not trying to tell a parent what to do. I'm trying to maybe give perspective that maybe there's infrastructure that needs to be built. Maybe there's some value there. And I'm not trying to say a parent doesn't know better than a doctor. I'm sure parents know better. Beachbody, Autumn Calabrese and Beachbody are some of the most toxic partnerships. So it's a red flag. It's a red flag for me. So I'm feeling some red flags here when I hear her say that. I'm feeling some red flags. That's all. That's all, folks. I just feel a few red flags.
That's how I started in network marketing. I was a Beachbody coach, and so we had those DVDs, and they put on...
There it is. She was a Beachbody coach. This makes so much sense. The perspective about being thin, the perspective about different bodies being bad, the perspective about outworking a diet, the perspective that you need to eliminate foods and you're about to hear that milk is bad and gluten is bad and wheat, whatever, gluten and wheat are the same thing. Sugar's bad and all this other stuff's bad and you need to restrict and blah, blah, blah. This makes so much more sense. Former Beachbody coach. And no shade to Beachbody coaches. Like, me and the Snark crew used to go hard for Beachbody when everybody was like, had free time. This makes so much more sense. Oh my God. This makes so much more sense. The containers are barely enough food to live. Yep. Drop a 1 if you used a Beachbody program. And if this makes so much more sense that she was a former Beachbody coach. I did P90X. was great. P90X was great. There's some Beachbody coaches had great workouts. Autumn Calabrese wasn't it. Autumn Calabrese has said some awful things about people, has done some awful things to people, and her workouts are injuries waiting to happen, and her understanding of food is absolute fuckery in my opinion. And the 40,000 supplements, that's an exaggeration, that you have to take to be like whatever that she's taking daily is wild. And her flippant idea of what it is to stay current on your certified personal trainer. Oh yeah, she isn't, but like she reads a lot is ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. Gluten, we aren't. I was exaggerating. I was being badly sarcastic, Kara-Jan. My sister can't have gluten, so she just avoids all wheat. Same.
Autumn Calabrese 21-day fix workouts. They're like 23-minute workouts. And so Aaron, my husband, and Maverick started doing those together. And they actually got really bonded during this whole time. And now my husband's like super jacked and my son is like super jacked, and they have gym memberships. We have a gym upstairs. It was a while. So I have a lot of people reaching out and they're like, okay, how long did this take? November was his physical. So November 2019, he weighed 272. Now he weighs like 165, but he's maintained it. So he lost that steadily over about 2 years, and then he's just maintained it. He really puts his health on the pedestal. He does not want to live that life again. And quite honestly, I feel guilty as a parent because he has a lot of loose skin, like a lot of loose skin. And when he was young, like...
Your daughter's sitting right next to you. She's 9. Your daughter's sitting right next to you and she's 9. Is this an appropriate, age-appropriate conversation for her to be a part of? It's fear-motivated. It's fear-based. Oh my God, I better not get quote-unquote big because my mom feels really guilty about my big brother having loose skin. Oh my God. And if you watch this live stream, because it's still live, her face, the daughter's face this whole time, she's taking it all in. And when you listen to the daughter talk, she's so intelligent. She's so intelligent. You can tell by the way that she processes and she speaks that she's not missing a thing that her mom is saying. She's absorbing every single word that her mom is dishing.
Couple years ago, I was like, well, maybe you'll grow into it. Like as you get taller, you'll grow into it. And now, because he strives to be a bodybuilder, I mean, he really does. That's his thing. He loves to get big. He loves to lift heavy. He met Sam Sulek. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but that's a bodybuilder on YouTube. A young man. He's in his early 20s, I guess. And he and my husband went and met him in Raleigh, and that was pretty cool. Got him to sign some things. Aaron challenged him to an arm wrestling competition, like just fun. But Maverick has all of that excess body fat now. It's like a lot, like when people...
Yeah, the daughter's 9 years old. And if you're a member, you can go watch the live stream from earlier. And again, this is public. you can go watch the public live stream on Rachel's Facebook channel. I'm not going to use Rachel's last name to make it easy for people to go on her Facebook page. It was a perk of being able to. I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, go buy whatever membership. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just saying I'm still just buffering over the daughter listening and processing and grasping what the mom is saying about the older brother and internalizing everything, kind of the fear mongering that the mom is doing about what it looks like to be bigger and the negative impacts of what being bigger looks like in the family as the youngest in the family.
Have gastric bypass or something and they lose a lot of weight, they have quite a bit of loose skin. Well, as someone that wants to go in competitions, that bothers him, and I tell him, you know what, you still see the muscles, it's fine, but you also know, we all know that we look at ourselves as our biggest critic. It does not matter if we finally hit our goal. It's like we always want to be different. And I relate it to when I'm talking to people, like if I have a client and they finally reach their fitness goal and then they want to change it again, which is normal. We all do it. And I say, it's like your living room furniture. Like you always want to rearrange it because you get bored. And our bodies are the same way. Like we're like, okay, now we got this. What else can I do? What else can I do? And that's kind of, kids go through the same thing. They really do. So some things, and I'm going to actually have Addie take over from here because we're dealing with her. She, her pants don't fit quite right. She's just strong, but you know how it is with young ladies. In particular, she's prepubescent. She's coming into changes now in our home, and you guys might be listening to me saying things, and you might be like, "Oh my God." We have very open conversations in our home. I need it to be open because I don't ever want my child to think they can't come to me with anything. So we talk about, age appropriate, we talk about certain things so that it's normalized.
Let me be honest with everyone in the chat for a second. I'll bring some honesty for myself. I'll buffer. I'll give y'all some buffering room. Kat Benson is a registered dietitian here on YouTube. She was my registered dietitian who helped me kind of like keep food down when I wasn't able to keep anything down in my earlier days of my endo journey before I got my first surgery. And at the time, I was wearing my kind of like my sports shorts, and I couldn't go out and buy more. I couldn't afford buying more. They were too tight. I was uncomfortable in them. And she was like, just cut the bands. And I was like, okay. Because her perspective was like, wear clothes that fit you. Because my perspective was, oh my God, this is so uncomfortable. Like, what do I do? They don't fit. I feel guilty. Like, I feel guilty because I'm, like, bigger than my clothes that are supposed to fit. She's like, just go every, 5 inches and cut into the elastic. And I was like, genius. So I went and did that in all my shorts, and it was a relief. I say that to say I've been absolutely in places where my clothes don't fit, and my perspective is that was encouraged by my registered dietitian. Wear clothes that fit. Don't force yourself. Like, other than I made the clothes fit me. I didn't force myself into clothes and then suffer because they were too tight. If that makes sense. the mom here commenting that, oh, her pants don't fit, and she's about to say some other things that are going to be upsetting, and the fact that the mom is sharing her daughter's business out on the internet, the mom has the opportunity to buy jeans or shorts that fit her daughter. Having the, like, there's no morality. There's no morality about clothing that fits or doesn't fit. You're not evil if you have clothes that don't fit, and you're not good if you have clothes that fit. We just have clothes that fit, or you hope you have clothes that fit, or you wait till you have clothes that fit, or you cut the band of your shorts, and then you have clothes that fit. It's not good and evil or black and white or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to encourage you is, I'm trying to encourage you with the idea that clothes are clothes and food is food. Because Rachel here, not Rachel's in the chat, Rachel here is doubling down on the idea, or inserting or subtly keeping the idea alive that having clothes that don't fit somehow is bad. And Addie, if for some reason you see this video, there's nothing wrong if your clothes don't fit. It may not feel very good, and it may feel uncomfortable, but I hope maybe you just take the jeans off and maybe find some shorts that fit in your closet, or if you don't have shorts that fit, maybe find a skirt that fits. If you don't have a skirt that fits. Cut some shorts or use the rubber band technique. Look up on the internet and look up rubber band technique for jeans that don't fit, or ask your mom to take you to buy some pants that fit. So, and that's hard to do. And you shouldn't have to do that because you are a child, but you deserve that because you are a child. So, and maybe you have a dress that fits. I'm giving us buffering time. I am feeling anxiety in my chest. I'm feeling anxiety in my... I'm feeling sadness in my throat. I'm not feeling sad at Addie. I'm feeling sad at the situation that the mom is talking about her child like this.
So that when they are faced with challenges, it's not weird to come up to your parents because your parents have had these conversations with you forever. And so I was a sexual health educator for a while, so this is a big thing for me. Like, you need to have those conversations. Otherwise, your kids are going to be hiding everything from you, and it's taboo in this house, so I can't come to my parents about it. And that's when sneaking becomes a thing, and that's when lying becomes a thing. And so we just try to keep it open. We know we don't allow lying, just have those open conversations with your kids. Okay, so Addie, how do you feel? Tell the people what's up. Again, she's going to be 10 in June. Got some hormonal changes going on. What's been going on with you? She's been working pretty hard lately, and I kind of want her to share, because when I had said that my daughter had some excess body fat, and people were like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you talk like that to your daughter." And I'm like, "Do you have excess body fat?" Mm-hmm. I mean, Lots of people do. Is it a big deal?
No.
No, like it's not a big deal. We're just stating an observation. It's not.
If it's not a big deal, then why the fuck are you bringing it up? How are her blood levels? How is her sleep? How is her water intake? Is she getting enough to eat? Is her food intake supporting her mental health? Is her food intake supporting her physical health? Is her food intake supporting her stress levels? Is her food intake supporting her sleep habits? We're going to take another buffering break to, like, after we talk about the food restriction and the food, like, binging. If you're just joining us, take a look at the trigger warnings. This is a stressful stream. Tomorrow, we're having a lighthearted cult stream. And then after, on Friday, we are having a lighthearted Sunny D lied to us for 6 months stream. So, I am getting hives because I'm stressed out.
Not making her feel bad. She has a beautiful, strong body. Anyway, so go ahead. Let's.
Does she have a beautiful, strong body?
I started eating better, not having sweets every day, not eating junk every day. I started having salads with eggs with protein.
Oh, she loves her salads with eggs, which a lot of people. I'm like, I don't know about this, and she made me take a bite, and it was not bad.
And I cut from dairy.
Cut?
Mostly. Have you had dairy at all? Not at all? Oh, good job.
My acne.
Did you hear that? I cut dairy. Then the mom comes back and questions it. Then she questions it again. And she doesn't encourage her or say good job. That's not that you should be praised for cutting something out, but the mom talks about restricting so much. She doesn't even say, like, in a meaningful way. She doesn't give the verbal affirmation in a meaningful way, is what I'm trying to say. She said, like, a little, like, good job. Restricting it shouldn't be rewarded. I'm just saying, they talk about restricting so much in their household, but she like, are you sure? Are you sure? And then she's just like, good job. What am I trying to say? The daughter doesn't even get like a significant kudos for playing within the rules that the mom set up, and the mom's not even facing the daughter when the daughter's talking. Is this just my autism rage? Hey Dash, what's up?
He has gone away from the dairy.
She was getting some acne issues. A little bit left right here, but she was starting to get it spread here and here and here. And again, as a human, it is okay to want to love your reflection. It is okay. We also have to love who we are anyway, right? Because why?
Yeah. Because it's the only body we have.
So we treat it with love and respect. This is a
You have inherent value as a human. Foundation. You have inherent value for just existing. Regardless of what you can do, regardless of what you can do for humanity, regardless of what you look like, regardless of what you like can offer to other people. Inherent value. I think, yeah. We get to be a good steward, but like the mom has a certain perspective about what the stewarding, what the goals for stewarding are. Stewarding should make you be thin or look strong and thin, or look muscular and thin, or blah, blah, blah. Oh no, Michaela, I'm sorry. Okay. All right.
Constant conversation in our home. We are given one body. We need to treat it with love and respect.
Exactly,
Otherwise,
Angela.
this body is not going to give us much of a life, right? And I think you can agree that you look at people that are
Let her talk.
morbidly obese, and they have they're the ones that have to use the chairs to get into the grocery store. And how do you think that makes them feel? And how do you think if they have children or they have grandchildren?
Oh, I don't know. I'll tell you. I think having a mobility device to be able to function and be able to participate and engage in society is pretty damn cool. Why don't you ask somebody who's using a mobility device instead of assuming what they feel like? Rachel, why don't you ask them what they feel like being able to go to the grocery store and shop and get food to eat? Rachel? I don't know. Why not, instead of looking down your nose at someone at the next fitness competition that you go to, looking down your nose at someone who has a walker, asking them what it's like to be able to go out and engage in society and walk around with a walker, and what it's like to be able to do that instead of having to be stuck at home and be able to go out with their family. Ask them how it feels to be able to do that. And use a device that helps them be able to interact in the world and with society and be in community. What would you know about that? I'm not flipping anybody off, and I'm not name calling. Self-control, emotional agility. I'm following the rules on my channel. Ugh.
And they can't get down and play with them on the floor. How do you think that makes them feel? What do you think that does for their confidence? What do you think that does for their self-esteem? Listen, I have been on stage speaking confidence and self-esteem and love into women. I went to Atlanta a few years ago to do just this, and we went into breakout sessions afterward. And I remember, gosh, so many conversations, but there was this one woman that had talked about dealing with self-esteem issues her whole life. And so I had them do like a little role play type of thing together. And the way that she spoke to herself about herself was telling me exactly, like, she needed to pour into herself. She needed someone to help pour into her. And that happens a lot. And so when we teach our children, not just, okay, let's focus on protein a little bit, let's cut out the sweets a little bit, it doesn't mean our kids can't be kids. And I made this mistake when I was little. My kids, when Travin was a baby, if someone gave him sugar, I was like, what are you doing giving my kid sugar? Like, I was extra crazy with that. I don't do that anymore. Now you have to have a balance. In my opinion, in our home, we have to have a balance. And so she has found a balance. And do you think that you were eating treats too often?
Yes. I used to eat sweets every day.
Every day? Where did you get sweets every day?
My friend's house.
A friend's house. And so I don't keep sweets in the house. I mean, I will. Like last night we wanted dessert, so I made pancakes. And we have maple syrup that my father-in-law he boils down the sap. You know, I think it's...
Here's a question. Was that the dessert that she wanted? If you don't keep dessert in the house, here's a question. If you don't keep dessert in the house and your kids really want dessert and they don't learn how to manage sugar intake in a safe environment like the house, where are they going to learn to do that? For example, technology. If technology is not going away, right? Phones aren't going away, laptops aren't going away, iPads aren't going away, right? I understand maybe limiting when that starts, but where's the best place for them, for your kids, for wherever? Where's the best place for them to learn how to navigate and build an infrastructure in safe, a safe way to engage with technology, how to get to primary sources, how to tell if something's a deep fake, how to tell if, how to use AI, how to cross-reference and double-check if something is, credible. Where's the best place to be able to do that? I don't know. Maybe at home. Maybe supplementing what they're learning at school, also learning at home. If you have a kid who really likes sweets or who really has a big sweet tooth, sometimes that's not just hormonal. Some kids just really like sweets, okay? Maybe learn how to manage that at home, and maybe it's not just a wasteland of healthy food. Maybe you have sweets at home and you learn how to manage that at home so that when they're faced with sweets out in the real world, it's not a situation where, oh my God, I never get this at home, so I gotta get as much of it out here because I'm never gonna get a chance to have it ever again when I get home. I don't know. Ask a registered dietitian. Go ask a registered dietitian. Here's some of the issues. We'll just take a buffer break, okay? Here's some of the research shit. Stacy, how was Coachella? Oh, Stacy, it's bad. So, parent-child weight talk and body image. Studies consistently find that parent weight talk, comments about the child's weight, body fat, or dieting, and family weight teasing are linked to higher body dissatisfaction and more unhealthy weight control behaviors and more binge eating in kids and teens, which is wild. And all of these studies and primary sources and stuff are linked in the description. And the snark sections, the little bullets I'm reading are from those studies. So we're just taking a buffer break because I'm about to cry. Okay? In a large study of adolescent girls, those whose mothers talked very much about their weight were nearly 3 times more likely to engage in extreme weight control behaviors than girls whose parents did not. And take that with a grain of salt when they're specifically talking about if studies were done on girls or boys. Okay? Just insert children, okay? Girls whose mothers encourage them to diet, as seen here, were about 5 times more likely to use extreme methods, meal skipping, diet pills, self-induced vomiting than girls whose mothers did not. And newer research emphasized that negative or joking comments about child's weight can have long-lasting effects on body image even more than parents' own dieting behaviors. And all of these links were not just like, oh, Vogue, or oh, like Cosmopolitan. These came from PubMed and NIH, and like all of the links in the description, you can go to like primary source studies. So Rachel publicly describes Addie as having excess body fat multiple times and frames it as something to fix with cutting out sweets, sugar, dairy, and we're about to hear about the quote-unquote inflammatory foods, which I know is going to make live chat just feel so warm and fuzzy because we love the inflammatory foods. And she repeatedly has already told us that her son's history of being significantly obese with loose skin, etc., and she's been doing it, telling us the story in front of her daughter and the audience. My dad is building something downstairs. Signaling that larger bodies are a problem to be solved. That's a huge issue, and it's a huge issue, especially that she's telling this in front of her 9-year-old daughter. She's positioning herself as a quote-unquote health coach, laughable in my opinion, and invites other parents and their kids into her orbit, implying she and her children can coach them. So, that's twisty. So, specifically with kids and pediatric nutrition, registered dietitians and again, the links are in the description, and the links are from PubMed and NIH and like primary source studies that were actually done, but registered dietitians and child feeding researchers highlight that overly strict restriction of treats and strong labeling of foods as bad is associated with more preoccupation with those foods, eating in secret and overeating when kids do get access. Recommended approaches emphasize structured meals and snacks, and you're going to hear that Rachel, the mom, doesn't have snacks. And I don't know if she believes in snacks or not, but she doesn't have snacks for the kids. Maybe that was a mishearing on my part, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have snacks. Offering a variety of foods, including sweets in a neutral way, and we already know that she doesn't view sweets in a neutral way. She views sweets in a very, very negative way. Focusing on skills, listening to hunger and fullness, cooking and movement rather than on weight. And we already know she focuses on weight. She focuses on her weight, her friend's weight, and her son's weight. And I'm sure she's going to focus on her daughter's weight when she's older, but she hasn't focused on her daughter's weight yet. Professional guidance on talking with kids about weight and health stresses, focusing on how the body feels, strength, sleep, and energy instead of weight or excess fat, and avoiding moralizing food choices. Mom says she doesn't... Oh, she's about to do this, so get ready for it. Get ready for it. Our snacks were Snackwells and Weight Watchers. Get ready for it. Honestly, snacks against multi-level marketing.
Okay to have, it's not, I think, it is okay to have treats and sweets here and there. It is not okay to fuel our body with sweets and treats. It's not fuel. It's not fuel. It's like taking, you have a...
Calories are, so, do y'all know who Sohee Lee is? She has a PhD in something. I don't remember. She ended up doing she did an experiment when she was getting ready for a bikini competition. And I don't know if she was doing her master's at the time, but she was doing her macros. I know not everyone does a like bodybuilding. Anyways, she worked in her macros up until her competition, and she worked in a full like Snickers bar up until her competition in this kind of more balanced approach that macros are macros, calories are calories, to combat this idea that foods are quote unquote good or bad, that there's a morality to food, that food is neutral. And yeah, there's micro there's macro and micro nutrition, but macros are not just trash if they are packaged in something that you think is bad. So it was an interesting paper that she ended up publishing. So
diesel, and you've made it into, you do the fast food grease over thing, you know what I'm saying? Those diesel vehicles. I don't really know what I'm saying. I know they take like old grease and they do something with it and they can use it to fuel their diesel vehicles, but they have to do something with it. If they don't, it's like putting in those, like the tater tot crumbles and the French fried crispy pieces and throwing that in their gas tank. That's not good. That's what sweets and treats do to our body. And how do you feel? Like, I know
you don't even know what you're talking about. Oh my God. Okay. All right. Okay.
we've talked about this before. So for me, when my kids were like, Mom, can I have ice cream cone for breakfast or something? And I'd say, how do you think that's going to make you feel? But over spring break, I'd let them eat. I will even buy ho-hos. Well, not ho-hos. Swiss cake rolls. I'll buy junk because it's spring break. If we're not going anywhere, I just don't care. I'll let them do the thing. And then we go back to treating our body with love and respect. But how do you feel when you start fueling your body with that stuff?
Good. I don't have inflammation.
Oh, sorry. When you fuel your body with like Swiss cake rolls or cookies.
Horrible.
What's your body do to you?
It like shuts down, kind of.
Do you feel anything in particular? How's
Yeah.
your belly or your mood or?
She's leading her daughter to the answer that she wants. Oh my God.
Makes me sick a lot of times, and normally I would have to just lay in bed because I felt horrible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what are you like? So she recently cut out sweets, anything with synthetic sugar, and I didn't even say anything. Because this is a constant conversation with her. Oh, Brittany's on. Hi, Addie. My daughter will be 10 in June also, and she loves eggs on her salad. Addie's been doing scrambled eggs.
I have to fix this right now.
Dressing.
I gotta fix that.
What else do you do? You do lettuce,
Ketchup, and taco sauce.
and taco sauce.
It's good.
She likes it. It's the way she starts her day. Whatever. She gave me a bite. I can't scoff. I was impressed. But she had tried on a pair of pants and they were too small. and her belly was poking out, and we all can relate to this. We've all been here. Her belly was hanging over the top of the pants, and she did fall into the trap of speaking poorly about herself. And some of you little girls.
Where did she get that from? Where did she get that from? If you go to Rachel's profile on Facebook. If you go to Rachel's profile on Facebook, you have Rachel's before and afters, you have her side profiles, you have her lifting up her shirt and you can see her six pack, you have her posing, you have all these stuff, right? Rachel has low body fat percentage, you can see the significant body difference between Rachel and Addie, okay? And my question is, if Addie is going through a growth spurt, why can't Addie get new clothes? If Addie's growing, Addie's 9 years old. From what I understand, kids grow. They grow height-wise and they grow width-wise at certain times in their lives, so they get new clothes. Is the mom just hoping that Addie loses weight and so she's not buying her daughter new clothes? She's 9. She's 9? She's a baby. I didn't mean to say it like that, Addie. You're young. You're growing. Your body's changing. You're at a significantly fast rate. Your muscles are growing. You sound like you're super active. You I'm also, if Addie, if your mom won't buy you new pants, get a rubber band. Pretend this is your loop on your jeans. You know, the hole of your jeans. Okay. And get a rubber band. And go through the loop of your jeans like this. So your halvesies, right? And then just pull one of the ends through like that. Put your jeans on, and then you can, then you can just hook it around like that. So you have a little bit more give. But you also need to, on the zipper, put another kind of a rubber band. Do the same thing around the zipper, and then just hook it around this too first, so the zipper doesn't fall down. Do you know what I'm saying? It'll give you a little bit extra room, since your mom's, if your mom is being stubborn about the neutrality of clothing. Clothing is neutral. Clothing should fit you. you shouldn't have to stuff yourself into clothing. I say stuff yourself in the most morally neutral way. Clothing should fit humans. That is literally what clothing is meant to do. Fit humans.
Girls, and if you guys are showing your kids, let them hear this part. When we catch ourselves speaking poorly about ourselves, what should we remind ourselves?
It's the only body.
Mine don't always lock. So, hello. Welcome to the live stream. If y'all want to like the stream, I'd love to get to 40. We're at 34.
We were given.
So,
We treat our body with respect.
we treat our body with respect. And talking
Respect and kindness are two different things. Kind of, and we talked about this earlier on members. Kind of like legality and morality are two different things. Like you want them to be the same thing, but they're not. Respect and kindness sound similar, but they're really different. They're really different. You want them to be the same thing. They share some similarities, but they're quite different.
to yourself negatively or calling yourself names is not respectful. And I like to say, and especially with my adult women that I work with, when I have women that say to me, I'm gross, I'm fat, I'm disgusting. And these are things that, and I bet you might have said this to yourself. I know I have said this to myself. And when I do catch myself speaking negatively, it's always...
My demo confused you? Okay. I'll try it again. Okay. Pretend... Okay. Pretend this is the whole of your jeans. The, you know the part that the button goes through? Have a rubber band. Any kind of rubber band. You're going to be able to create some gappage. Like, create a little more give in your jeans, okay? So you're going to stick the rubber band through the hole that your button's supposed to go through. And you're going to make the rubber band even, like this. Okay? Sorry it's so dark. And you're going to push one side through the other side. Oh. Like that. All right? And you're gonna pull it. Do you see how it's... It doesn't matter either way, just as long as you kind of created a little attachment. Now, you can loop this side around the button on your jeans so that you can have a gap in your jeans to give yourself 2 or 3 extra, 2 inches for your jeans, if that makes sense. I'm using my fingers as like the gap for your jeans. For example, if this was your button in your jeans, you could have this. Does that make sense? Is that better? Let me know if that was a better demo. It's kind of hard when I'm just like, my demos aren't that good. essentially, you just want to secure one side. I'm probably gonna. Oh, I don't want to confuse anyone.
Stop. Would I say that to my best friend? Would I say that to my daughter? Would I say that to my partner? Would I say that to my mother? Would I say that to my sister? Then I'm not going to say that to me, right? You need to respect yourself, because once you start respecting yourself and you start putting yourself on a pedestal, then you're going to want to start fueling your body well. You're going to want to start putting good things into your body and treating your body well. And so she has done a great job. She actually has something called geographic tongue.
Oh.
Has anyone heard, put tongue, Tongue, not a fun word to spell, put tongue in the comments if you have heard of geographic tongue. So a few years ago, she had something going on her tongue. Let me see your tongue. Oh, it looks so good. And it looked like, I thought it was thrush. It was like her tongue was...
There is some clicking and beeping that's going to start in the video that may be an issue for you if you have some auditory sensory issues. I do, so it's irritating to me. I can't control it, so I apologize. Just be aware of it.
raw in spots. It didn't really bother her. It didn't hurt. But when we went for her annual physical, I said, can you look at her tongue? A few years ago, and they just kind of disregarded it. No, they didn't. Listen, guys, I also don't go to doctors. We go for our physical and that's it.
I also don't go to doctors. We go to our physical and that's it.
Treat holistically at home, because I'm telling you, it's always the same crap. Maybe I've never used a pediatrician. Maybe pediatricians are different, but the family practice, man, I just can't.
I've never used a pediatrician. Maybe pediatricians are different.
So they didn't do anything. They didn't swab it. They didn't do anything. They looked at it and they said, yeah, it's probably a yeast infection. And they gave her this rinse that she was supposed to do, and then she was supposed to swallow it and da-da-da-da. Well, she sucked at doing that.
You're the parent. Hello? Question for the parents out there. If you have a child under the age of minor, 10, 9, 8, aren't you the person that makes sure your children are taking their medications? So wouldn't you be the adult in the situation and make sure that they were doing the ingesting of the prescription medications correctly? There's nothing to swab. Rachel's like, oh, she sucked at it. Okay.
I never took it.
She did it like a few times, and I was like, well, it's your choice. Listen, it's your body. If you want to live with that, you don't have to take the medicine.
If you want to live with that, you don't have to take the medicine. It's the parent's job to have a little more perspective than children, because the parents have lived, I don't know, a little bit longer than kids do, so they get to say, you know what? Sometimes I'm going to override because I can see or have seen or have a little bit better perspective than you have. I don't know, Broken Waffles. Not sure.
But I'm telling you, it's not going to go away. But anyway, fast forward a couple years, and then I had but that doctor left. She went to the mountains. We still have the same practice. Then it's not a doctor, it's a nurse practitioner. But anyway, she saw her and she goes, oh, I think this is geographic tongue. This is in get out of here, November of this past year. She went, and the new gal was like, I think that's geographic tongue. There's nothing you can do about it. And I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Well, then it started bothering her. It actually started hurting. And I was like, maybe we should get a second opinion. I don't know. I said, let's start with reducing our inflammatory foods, sugar, dairy.
Are inflammatory foods an actual thing? Yes, but not the TikTok. When clinicians and researchers talk about pro-inflammatory foods, they mean foods or patterns of eating that are associated with higher levels of chronic, low-grade inflammation, things like CRP, IL-6, TNF-alpha, and higher risk of diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, and some cancers. Rachel? Rachel? That's from PMC, NCBI, NLM.NIH, low-grade inflammation in ultra-processed foods, and then Harvard.edu. Inflammation itself is a normal immune response to injury or infection. It's not always bad. The concern is long-term low-level inflammation being nudged up by lifestyle factors, one of which is diet. The evidence is strongest for overall diet patterns, not magical single ingredients. Okay. Foods most often labeled quote-unquote inflammatory. The ones that she's talked about the entire live stream. And then anti-inflammatory, the stuff that she's talked about. The superfood turns off inflammation marketing is overstated. Harvard and others point out that while these foods are clearly healthier, it's not proven that all of their benefits come specifically and solely from reducing inflammation. As influencers claim, it's more accurate to say they support overall metabolic and vascular health, part of which shows up as lower inflammation markers. We call allergies in the throat cobblestoning. Parents think it's strep until you educate them and test for strep, of course.
Gluten. Big three top inflammatories right there. Sugar, dairy, and gluten. Super inflammatories. I said, let's...
Sugar, dairy, our sugar... For people who are not allergic to any of those items. I said, are sugar, dairy, and gluten inflammatory for people who are not allergic to any of those items? Okay, dairy. This one actively flips the wellness narrative on its head. A systematic review of 52 clinical trials found dairy has a net anti-inflammatory effect in healthy people and people with metabolic disorders. The only group where dairy was pro-inflammatory was people with a milk allergy. Rachel, a 2021 PubMed review concluded there is insufficient evidence to call dairy anti-inflammatory, but firmly stated it does not increase inflammatory biomarkers in healthy people. You've lost the freaking plot. Fermented dairy, yogurt, kefir shows the strongest anti-inflammatory signal, likely due to probiotics per the Arthritis Foundation. Added sugar in large amounts, especially from sugary drinks, high fructose corn syrup, and refined carbs, is consistently linked to elevated inflammatory markers like CRP and IL-6, according to research published in Frontiers in Immunology. However, natural sugars in whole foods, fructose in fruit, lactose in dairy, are not linked to inflammation. The fiber, protein, and micronutrients in whole foods slow absorption and blunt any inflammatory response, per Healthline's review of the research. The inflammation effect from sugar appears to be largely a dose and sources issue, not an inherent property of sugar itself. So you're wrong on that one too. Gluten is where the inflammatory for everyone claim is most misleading. For people without celiac disease or non-celiac gluten sensitivity, NCGS, there is no peer-reviewed evidence that gluten causes systemic inflammation. There is no immune activation, no intestinal damage, and no measurable inflammatory marker change. NCGS is a real condition distinct from celiac where immune activation does occur without intestinal damage, per Harvard Health, but it is by definition a sensitivity. In someone with no celiac, no NCGS, and no wheat allergy, calling gluten inflammatory has no current scientific support. She's wrong on 3 counts. Sugar has a little bit. Sugar has a smidgen. Natural sugar, no. Dairy, no. Gluten, no.
I said, let's try cutting out those and see. It's been, is that a week? How long have you been eating like this?
About like 2 weeks.
Going on 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And last week, she's like, Mom, look, and her tongue's beautiful. And she has no more geographic tongue, cutting out dairy.
I'm sorry. Her tongue was painful, but the mom was more concerned about her tongue being beautiful. Cool, Rachel. Cool. I'm so glad your tongue isn't painful for you anymore. We think that the reason her tongue isn't painful anymore is because she started eating differently. I could care less if her tongue looked good or not. Rachel.
She hasn't cut out gluten. We don't eat a lot of gluten in our home anyway. Aaron's father had celiacs, and Aaron and Maverick both have shown signs of sensitivity to gluten. So I try not to have it too often. I'm trying to think if she has had any. Probably a little. You probably had a little gluten.
It comes and goes.
Yeah. Last night we had rice.
I didn't eat pancakes.
Oh, she said no to pancakes last night. She opted to not have. I was like,
is pancakes a common? I'm not a big pancake for dessert person. I didn't know pancake for dessert was a thing, and earlier on members live stream, I was like, nobody wants pancakes for dessert. And live chat was like, well, some of us want pancakes for dessert, and I was like, ugh. I was like, is that a thing? Y'all are eating pancakes for dessert now?
girl, you got some dedication and grit. Can you coach my ladies in these health groups? Do you think you could do that? You show them how to do determination and grit. You know, my ladies, their hardest thing, beer. They want their seltzers, or they want their margaritas, and they want their wine, and it's hard for them to.
That's bad.
Well, it's an addiction, just like food is an addiction.
You only can like drink.
Having a setting aside our incredible sober buddies in the chat. Not everyone is addicted to alcohol. And Rachel making that a point is inaccurate.
Like, you can...
Let's hear
Hi,
her
Tori.
words of wisdom here.
Okay, so you can go 2 weeks without drinking.
You can. It's not easy, but you can do it. I think a lot of the times we have our habits that make us feel comfortable. Like we have the food that makes us feel comfortable. We have our evening wine that makes us feel comfortable. And so we don't...
Food, something that Kat has also said, like, if you need a good registered dietitian, Kat's great. There's other, like, why am I blanking? The lemons. The lemon community. Why am I blanking on her name? She's a registered dietitian. I don't know if she takes personal clients, though. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I know Kat takes personal clients. Anyways, she says this all the time, food should be enjoyable. I'm not saying if you're sober, alcohol. I'm saying if you want a piece of cake after dinner. I'm saying if you want to have, if meat is your thing, having a delicious piece of meat. I'm saying if coffee with breakfast is your thing. I'm saying if a cookie after dinner is your thing. I'm saying if a piece of bread with dinner is your thing. I'm saying if soup in a bread bowl at lunch is your thing. I'm saying if hot chocolate after dinner right before bed is your thing. I'm saying pancakes for breakfast is your thing. I'm saying, ooh, biscuits for breakfast is your thing. Or I'm saying fresh blueberry muffins with like lemon sugar crumble on top is your thing. I'm saying food should be enjoyable. There should be a certain, like, eating food should not be punishment. So, no, lemon, she has like her lemon community. Brianna Jewel. I was like, it starts with a B. Yes. Brianna Jewel. I'm like, it's the lemons, the lemon group. Yes. Brianna. Thank you. Pie. Yes. Mm-hmm.
want to change that because that's what we've been doing for so long, but what we've been doing for so long hasn't been helping. So we have to switch it up, and change is necessary if you want to change, if you want to grow. So a lot of the times we have to step out of our comfort zone to grow. Actually, this morning, side note, Aaron was doing ab workouts on the closet floor. He does, like, if he does a quick workout before a shower, it's on the closet. We have a big closet in our bathroom. Mm-hmm. And he was in there, and I was standing in the doorway staring at him. And he kept laughing. And I said, am I unnerving you? And he's like, yeah, a little. Or I make you uncomfortable? And he said, yeah, a little. And I was like, well, growth happens when we step out of our comfort zone for his abs. But no, so she has been cutting out. We are going to get her A2 milk. She loves milk. She really does. And A2 milk is a non-inflammatory. It doesn't spike that inflammation response. She's also drinking Fit, which helps decrease our inflammatory.
She's also drinking Fit. Is that a Make Wellness product? Yep. There it is. $129 a month. There it is. There it is. 25 minutes in.
Response on a lot of things. For me, it's my arthritis. I have terrible arthritis in my hips.
FDA claim. Structure function claim.
My hands. Thumbs in particular is the worst, but anyway, that's why I drink that. But it also decreases the inflammation systemically, which then allows our body to function a little bit more properly. So that's one thing.
And it helps your sore muscles.
Oh my God, the best.
And I need it because I play softball.
And she started a new position 2 nights ago, and she was pretty sore after that.
It hit me right in the chest.
Good thing they got pads.
It
Gotta run. Love you, ladies. Keep treating your body with respect, Daddy. You are beautiful. Thanks, Miss Nikki.
It kind of hurt because it hit like right on my arm. And then I forgot I didn't have a glove on this hand, and I catch the real softball with this hand. And then like 2 minutes later, I couldn't feel my whole hand. It was numb.
That's why we use our gloves, right? We have to use our gloves. Yeah. So for a young lady that is looking in the mirror and she's not loving herself, what do you have to say to her?
Hi, Peg.
What would I say to you?
Give her a chance to answer. She's 9.
You would say...
Oh, this might be scary. I'm a little nervous. No.
You would say you're beautiful no matter what.
You are beautiful no matter what. That doesn't change.
But...
And if you want to change it...
you eat better.
You gotta change what you...
Oh my God. There is a but. There was a but there. Addie, you're beautiful no matter what. Would you like to go watch a movie? Let's go watch a movie. Let's go, like, hang out. Let's go, like, let that ruminate for a second. Let's go, like, let that sink in for a second. Let's go to therapy. You deserve to believe that you're beautiful no matter what. You have inherent value as a human being just because you exist.
I mean, it's as simple as that. If we are going to sit and complain and look in the mirror and speak poorly to ourselves first.
She's just complaining? She's 9. She's having a difficult time with, like, the value of herself as a person. She's 9. She's 9.
You have to remember, we're beautiful anyway. But if that bothers us, we have to make changes.
Just like me.
Yep.
I started eating salads every day.
Oh my God. Addie, I'm saying oh my God to your mom. I'm not saying oh my God to you. I would recommend an idea that you ask your mom to take you to a registered dietitian. Not to your mom. Not to somebody that she knows from a multi-level marketing company. Not to somebody that is a certified whatever, a registered dietitian, a child, someone who is someone who specializes in maybe child psychology, who is a registered dietitian. My God. I didn't realize the mom was going to have a butt there, but she did.
I'm not a salad fan, quite honestly.
I don't know why.
She loves salads. I mean, if she loves salads, it's fiber, it's protein, that's good. So that's another thing I do with my kids. If they are hungry, my son Maverick, OMG, he goes, Mom, if I hear grab a yogurt out of your mouth one more time, he's like, I'm gonna lose it. I don't remember how he said it, but that was basically the gist. But that is if they're going through the cupboards and they're like, I'm hungry, because I don't keep grab and go snacks in the house. Occasionally I will do.
I don't keep grab and go snacks in the house.
Trump's meat sticks Or like I'll boil eggs and put them in apple cider vinegar and white vinegar with some dill or whatever seasonings. And so if they're hungry and they want a snack, go grab a boiled egg, or go grab a pickled egg, or what's another snack?
Radish.
Radishes. We're growing radishes in the garden.
A radish? What? Here's a question for live chat. If you were giving Addie a positive affirmation, not a love bombing affirmation, what would you want to hear when you were 9 years old? That if you were 9, what would you have wanted to hear? When I was 9, I would have wanted to remember that what I looked like in the mirror didn't impact how much fun I was gonna have playing outside with my brothers and sisters, that I was going to get to wear my Cheryl Swoops basketball shirt, you know, every single day and wash it, whatever, every day. My mom was going to help me wash it every day so I could keep wearing it, and it didn't matter what I looked like underneath it, that life is too short to get caught up in if other people think I'm big, that having fun in the sun is a lot more fun than, you know, crying or getting upset about other girls or whatever. You know, not fitting in with like what they look like. So Deb said that I was loved and I was more than my body type, and I'm here to help and not hurt you. And Chris the doll said that you are loved and you are valuable. Society and social media don't set beauty standards. You set your beauty standards, and don't let your friends, family, or society change what you feel or think. Oh, good. Even if you had a good parent, you can say like what you heard from your good parent. That's cool too.
Right now, so she's liking slicing them with some salt. Greek yogurt is a great one. Chobani is delicious. Oikos, I like Oikos. I think it's more of a mature palate for that one. It's less sweet, it's less creamy. I really like it, but Chobani is more palatable. It's sweeter and it's creamier. And it's 20 grams of protein. I mean, when we're going for our goal of 100 grams of protein, 20 grams of protein, damn, that's a fifth of it. Like, load it up. What are some other snacks? Cheese sticks. Cheese sticks.
I stopped having cheese.
Yeah, she did stop. The other day, she's like, I want a snack. I'm like, grab a cheese stick. She's like, I'm not having dairy. But without her dairy, her acne, her skin looks great. She was having like this chronic acne patch, which it's almost completely dried up. And over here, she was having issues, and up here, she was having issues, and her skin looks so nice now. Just from cutting sugar and dairy. I mean, really good.
Yeah, like right here, there was big one.
Those big ones, man, they gotta go.
And like right here, there's like a small pimple, but for a reason, it hurts my whole cheek.
I told her to keep her dirty paws off of it.
Hey, there's something called a dermatologist. You can take your kid to the dermatologist, and they may be able to point you in the right direction, where you don't have to cut out a million things to be able to take a look at your skin. Also, if you cut stuff out and you start washing your face a lot more, it may not be the food you're cutting out. It may just be like the change in your skin washing situation, but we're not really going to know.
Our hands are dirty. Everything we touch has germs. We don't want to put our hands on our faces.
I just stubbed my toe.
Whoops. Let's see.
Sorry.
About.
Sorry.
Just making sure we treat our body with love and respect. I tell you, when we can just really get that one in our minds, it is hard. I do a lot of psychology stuff in my line of work. I do a lot of training on psychology, and I find that it is going to depend on how you're raised and how it, like, sometimes you have so much trauma associated with childhood that it's hard, and you almost pass that on, like literally chemically you pass that on to your children. And so we as
Is this a joke? Don't be silly, DC. Who needs a dermatologist when you can take an MLM product? So, Rachel said that she doesn't keep grab-and-go snacks. She rarely keeps sweets in the house, and she frames sweets as not fuel, and like tater tot crumbles in the gas tank, i.e. actively harmful junk. That daughter reports cutting sweets every day, junk every day, and not having dairy at all. And this is praised and presented almost as a mini success story to an adult audience. The mom overtly celebrates Addie refusing pancakes and cheese sticks in front of a live audience and suggests her daughter could coach my ladies for willpower. I'm not rolling my eyes at Addie, I'm rolling my eyes at your mom, at Rachel, because it's age inappropriate. It's age inappropriate. The combination, Addie restricting multiple food groups and Rachel enthusiastically reinforcing restriction and doing so in front of a ton of people on her Facebook page, from what we learned together on Members Only, matches patterns associated with an increased risk of disordered eating and over focus on body image in literature, and you can look at the links in the description. All right, we love our primary sources. Evidence-based pediatric guidance strongly warns against turning sweets into forbidden bad foods or praising kids for cutting entire food groups, because this is linked to more, not less, problematic eating and body image issues later on. RIP. Therapy for you and therapy for you. And we say this positively, because we do love some therapy. Um, I think that Rachel forgets or has forgotten or doesn't understand that obesity is influenced by genetics, environment, and social factors, and blame and shame, which she's done the entire live stream, are counterproductive. And she's also used scare tactics about future disease, which she's done. And she was also wrong about the data points she was sharing earlier on when we were taking our little speed bump break. Rachel repeatedly linked higher weight to early disability, needing scooters at the grocery store, being unable to play with kids, and higher risk of death from heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. And Rachel described allowing a child's weight to increase as akin to letting them drive toward disease and death, and frames parents as failing if they aren't actively preventing weight gain. Yay. Yay! And Rachel criticized everyone. I don't know. Everyone saying that, well, I don't know everyone. I'll just leave that one aside. In the links below, psychology and pediatric guidance, and maybe she missed this because she'd never looked at it, but who knows. Psychology and pediatric guidance strongly caution that fear-based messaging about weight and health tends to increase shame, secrecy, and unhealthy weight control behaviors rather than sustainable healthy habits. Has she ever heard of a growth spurt? Maybe not for girls. Oh, that's probably too mean of me to say. Sorry about that. Major pediatric and psychology groups recommend not using fear of disease, disability, or early death as a motivator for kids' weight because it increases shame and disordered eating risk without improving long-term health. I don't know why she continues to do it. We just discovered her today, so she may be on our FU. I don't know. Is she on our FU list? Are we voting her there? If you don't know, we have a short, if not intense FU list that we vote people on, but maybe we need to wait for her. She's on my list, but normally the squirrels vote people on our list. We're kind of a semi-democracy, a squirrelocracy, but someone normally has to second the motion. I'm just nervous about doing it because Addie is such a good kid. This is a long script. Not a script, but just our notes. Yes, she's on it. Are you seconding the motion? Someone second it while we continue to play.
Parents have to kind of rise above that. I come from a full family history of mental illness, and I have mental illness, but it just means that I have the ability to kind of share with my kids how to deal with it and how to handle it, and coping skills and mechanisms and ways to
medicine
to really improve that.
Please say bless you.
She had to go tell Daddy bless you.
Second the motion.
But yeah, I think.
Okay, does the motion drop a 1 for the vote? Drop a 1 if we're voting for the mental health. Not the mental health, for the for the mental health fuckery of using your kid to promote your multi-level marketing company, and the fluffery of using your of the twisty psychology of this bullshit.
Some snack ideas, and I know a lot of you are asking for meal plans. I do. If you go to my profile, I have all
right. She's voted. She's on the list. So let it be written, so let it be done.
kinds of links. I've got fitness challenges for you. Those are nice too. You can even do those with your kids. All it requires is body movement, body weight, no fancy anything, just your body. And they're like 5 minutes, and you can do them back to back. You can even just start with 5 minutes just to kind of see. Moving your body is important. This kid moves all day. And that was one thing that, like, I wasn't concerned with her weight at all. She is heavier than the scale shows, like.
I wasn't concerned with her weight, but she's heavier than the scale shows. Stop it. Stop. Oh, I'm not concerned about her weight, but like, oh, by the way, she's heavy. I'm not concerned with her weight, but oh, by the way, but. There's so many buts in here. I'm so, like, oh my God. I stopped cooking a vote. Kayla said, I'm sitting here holding my 2-month-old daughter, trying to imagine ever cheering her on for refusing food, and like, absolutely not. How cruel and disgusting. It makes me so sad. It's not time yet, Champy.
When you go to the pediatrician, they're like, okay, this is the normals and this is them. And sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, is my child okay? But I know my child's okay because she never stops. She is constantly rollerblading, swimming, playing softball, jumping on the trampoline, playing with neighbors, going biking or scooters. So I'm not concerned, but I know what it feels like to not love your reflection. And I don't want my daughter to feel that way. And so I said, well, here's the thing. We're working on loving ourselves, but if it is bothering you, then you do have to make some changes. And you do.
Okay, but if it's bothering you, then you have to make some changes, and you do. She's not helping her daughter figure out how to love herself. She's saying, I also don't support how you look. I also don't support how you look. Her kid's beautiful. Her kid's 9. Her kid's 9 years old. 9 years old. She's single digits. 9. Addie? You are an incredible human. You have inherent value because you exist. You are articulate, and I hope that you had a great school year. You seem like you love playing softball. I hope that you enjoy your new position on the softball field. It looks like you really enjoy playing softball, and I hope that you continue learning to love yourself and your reflection, and I hope that you're also able to accept the idea that clothes are supposed to fit you, that you are not supposed to fit your clothes. I hope that you can also accept the idea that food is supposed to be enjoyable. I hope that you can also accept the idea that your worth doesn't come from how you look as a human.
And we all do. Like, we all do. We can all make the changes. And sometimes we have to mess with our bodies a little bit because we're going through hormonal changes. She's coming into puberty. She's got hormonal changes too. I feel like those of us in perimenopause, we're reliving this because our bodies are changing and getting wonky and all the things. But I appreciate you sharing your words of wisdom, young lady.
Thanks.
Thank you. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. If your daughter needs a little boost, she loves to boost. She really does. I don't know where she got it. I really don't.
People used to, like, my old friends, they were boys, they used to pick on me for my body. And I would actually take the words of those because they would tell me that I'm a little bit fat. But then I just fought through because I know I'm not fat. Well, I am, but
You're not. You're not. And that is a common
I think her mom's trying, but also her mom's missing it. Big time. And parents aren't perfect. But I also think her mom's missing it big time because she's not listening to her kid. And her kid feels fat. And she's saying, no, you're not. You're not fat. And her child, Addie, feels fat. And her mom, I think Addie feels like her mom sees her as fat. And I think the mom, at some deep level, sees Addie as fatter than she wants her to be. Because if she wasn't, then the mom wouldn't have said, if you want to make changes, then you have to make changes. In my opinion. It could be. But also, she may need that. She may need everything that she has right now for puberty. No, for sure. I think what I'm trying to say is, like, very broken people can be trying their best and be really fucking up their kids at the same time. Like, very broken people can really love their kids and really fuck up their kids. And I feel guilty because I'm here, like, raging against the machine of, like, parents fucking up their kids, and I am not a parent. And I am never going to get to be a parent because I, you know, and I feel guilty about, like, you know what I'm saying? So I think I'm, yeah. I think that it seems like Addie's was looking for affirmation, and the mom didn't give her any and I think because she didn't, the daughter feels like that Rachel sees her as fat, and I think the mom sees her as fat. And the daughter's 9. And my question is, if the daughter's over-exercising, that's a whole... Man.
This wording, I think, when people say, I am fat. I don't like that statement because you're not that, what you're doing is you're identifying as, I am fat. You can say, I have excess body fat that I don't love, right? Yeah. I have some excess body fat that I don't love. And that's a fair...
She's 9. Hey, would you like to go to the park and swing on the swings? Or would you like to go color? Or would you like to go play tennis? Or would you like to go have a tea party? Or would you like to go play dress up? Or would you like to go do something age appropriate? Or would you like to go play pretend? Or would you like to go watch a movie? Or would you like to, I don't know, like, the mom is only talking about, like, activity, 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 activity. Cut out food, 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 cut out food. My God. I hope Addie gets to go not do activity things, or isn't thinking about dieting all the time, or giving up food all the time, or isn't waiting until the next meal, like once one meal is done. I hope that's not how it is, because that's how it was for me for a long time. I hope that's not what Addie's existence is right now.
That's okay. We all want what we want, and that's okay. Nobody's going to judge you on it. But to say you are fat is not okay. You are not fat.
I have excess fat.
You have excess body fat that you don't like. It's fine. It's healthy. You don't like it.
Now, me and them are no longer friends.
Probably a wise choice, huh?
Yeah. Wait.
Yeah.
The next door, like, kid, he's like...
Don't talk about people, okay? You can just say my friend.
My friend, we always play softball together, but, like, the other ones have to join in. And I kind of, like, don't like that, because they, like, do fastballs, and I'm not used to fastballs.
That's scary.
They use real baseballs, and it hurts. We don't have any gear on.
No. So it makes you a little nervous.
Yeah,
understandably. Brittany says, thank you for talking about this. I know it can be a hard age. Kids can be so mean. I remind my daughter that everyone has insecurities and it's important to be kind. Yes, I love that. So Brittany, remember, Brittany's daughter is the same age as you, so that's pretty cool. But she doesn't live near us, so that's too bad.
I don't know Brady.
No, well, I'll show you her profile. We can creep on her in a little bit. Hey, Susie. Nice to see you on. So my biggest words of advice for you, and I'll probably get slack for this. We'll see. We'll see. People be loving hate this week. If your child is overweight to the point where they cannot play well, they have to take breaks a lot, they cannot run, they get breathless, they can't tie their own shoes, okay? That level of excess body fat is unhealthy. It is unhealthy. And I know this is not freaking body shaming, you guys. This has nothing to do with their body. This has everything to do with their health. And we are their parents. And I do the analogy of, if I'm going to allow my child to continue to feed themselves at a rate that is going to continue to store excess body fat to the point where they can't play, their blood work is off, they are at risk of diabetes and heart disease and all of that, I am failing. And this is what I tell myself. This is my own language that I speak to myself. Your family is your family. But we do need to be careful with saying you're perfect the way you are. We need to be careful with that. And I know a lot of people do not agree with me, but if she were going to continue gaining weight, let's say she was gaining 10 pounds a month. Okay, that adds up real freaking fast, guys. I've lived this life. You cannot keep saying you're beautiful the way you are. You're perfect. You're perfect. No, you can say they're beautiful. They're always beautiful. You're perfect the way you are, because that is going to tell them that it's okay to continue eating that way. It's okay to continue being sedentary, and then they are going to have health issues, and you allowed it. If you're okay with your children having health issues, again, it's not my family, but it has nothing to do with the bodies at this point. Not the aesthetics, not the beauty, nothing like that. We're putting that aside and saying, I am going to allow you to put yourself at risk to diseases that are the leading cause of death in America. I'm not okay with that. And I am on a mission to help people.
Your data points about things are incorrect.
People with their children that are in this situation. It is hard, and it's okay. It's not you as a failure. I know I had felt some guilt, but I was like, you know what? I did what I could. I did my best. I didn't know better, and then I started knowing better.
And knowing better is using your kids to lure people into make wellness?
And I started being proactive, and then it started becoming a thing, but it's never ever been about the way they look. It's about the way they feel. Right? Mm-hmm. We got to feel good. If we don't feel good every day, then what's the point of anything? We got to change it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining us today. And thank you for joining us today. I got to get ready. I got to leave in an hour. I'm going to see Mel Robbins' Let Them Theory tour. I'm excited. Yeah. Who knows Mel Robbins? You know Mel Robbins? Let me know.
I don't.
You don't know Mel Robbins?
No.
You've heard me listen to her. You just didn't even know. Podcasts and audibles. All right. Talk to you soon, guys.
Oh my God. So that's Rachel. She's in Make Wellness. We're going to wrap this up. She's in Make Wellness. Her kid drinks Make Wellness products. Her son also drinks Make Wellness products. She targets parents who, of individuals, targets. My words, not hers. She's not saying no to the algorithm when it finds parents of kids who are in the similar situation of kids who need to be quote unquote losing weight, and the parents find her and then are looking for weight loss solutions for minors, find their health coach in Rachel, and then feed into the pipeline of Make Wellness. So, the issue, children as testimonial / marketing assets, issue number 1. Implied clinical expertise, issue number 2. Targeting parents of kids with weight concerns, issue number 3. Those are under the MLM health / weight claims, the umbrella of fuckery. Big, the FTC has a big, waving red flag when you tie in kids with health claims in the deceptive marketing neighborhood. It's a big deal, and she could get in big trouble for it. If the FTC was a bigger organization and I was a bigger creator, it may do something meaningful. Until then, I'll just keep beating my drum here in my corner of the internet. But even still, the FDA also makes a big deal of it. The supplements and the weight loss claims, we heard a little bit about it earlier. I don't know. I guess to wrap it up, weight talk is harmful and not helpful for kids. restriction and food moralizing backfires in the parent to kid conversation and as kids grow up. Scare tactics about disease are risky. Children used as marketing assets is a big no-no. Regulators have already gone after companies that target weight, height products at kids or use children's data and stories in misleading ways. Make Wellness, what's up? Supplements and MLM companies. Hold on, I'm finishing up my stream. I have to finish this really quickly. And there's better alternative for parents out there other than MLMs. And you can find some of those in the description below. There's evidence-based advice out there. And the evidence-based advice is to focus on family habits, regular meals, and snacks, fun movement, sleep, and a wide variety of tools while keeping weight talk and body criticism off the table. And on that note, stay away from chicken nuggets off the internet. And if you can't, you can find us critiquing them here on my channel. Tomorrow, fun cult talks about Teal Swan. Friday, looking at Sunny D's lying to us about her recruiting talk. So a little bit of a bump if this was too heavy. Thanks for joining us anyway. Lick the stream and hype it after the stream's done. Thanks so much for joining us, and go regulate yourself if you need to. I'll see you later. TLDR, don't do any of what she did. So, bye. Also, Melaleuca is an MLM. See you later.